Thank you so much, Vicky. And thank you everybody else as well. It's magical to hear everybody's stories. And thank you, Jan, for your enlightening enthusiasm. I think, yeah, I felt like a rocket stick was behind me when I was listening to you. But I think it is intrinsic, isn't it? When we know what we love, and I love inspiring people in many different ways. And it's so lovely to hear all the stories of how people find their trueness in life, their love. And it could be many different loves. I think life is a bit like a tree. You know, you go up one branch and then you discover something else and something else. And what you thought you were going to actually leads you in a completely different direction. But everything that you've learned previous to then actually really sets you up for it. I love all the true, the raw, and the love that everybody shares. It reminds me also of a story of a lovely old gentleman that I met. He was in his late 80s and he discovered his love, and it was singing. He could never sing. His wife had told him that he couldn't sing, and he was always singing out of tune. I met him in a church behind where I lived, and he was learning to play the bells. And I don't know if you've ever learnt to play bells in a church, but it's the scariest thing and the most active I've ever seen old people. And it was like a gym. It was amazing. But you could get shot up to the ceiling if you didn't, hold it in the right way. But he told me a story that he'd heard on the radio that everybody can sing. And it was just that they hadn't learnt to sing properly. And he decided after his wife died, sadly, that he was going to get some singing lessons. And for 2 years, he diligently went along to these lessons and learnt to sing. And when I met him, he was just about to sing in front of a huge audience. I was so proud and I was so excited. It was almost like tears in my eyes of excitement for him. And he sang in front of this audience, and then he died of a stroke very shortly after, but he, I suppose in a cheesy way, he didn't die with the music inside of him. And I look at my nephew before he was 1 year old, and he's fascinated by things that pivot and things, everything is intrinsic within us. There's no mistake that we love what we love. I've had an interesting life, definitely. I have had lots of experiences, and I love to overcome problems and challenges. And I wanted to share a few things, and I wasn't sure, what was going to be right for everybody. But at university, I took over the Dyslexic Institute. I was told when I was very young that I was so dyslexic that I wasn't going to amount to anything. And it made me really feisty. And so I've had kind of a cracker in my life, just I will do that. And one thing I learned that I thought was fascinating that wasn't really taught to anybody was exercises and they're all in a book called The Brain Gym. But I think really, especially now in today's life, there's so many things going on. There's spinning exercises. So anything that makes you dizzy, apart from alcohol, actually makes you brainier. So literacy, memory, and so literacy, memory and mathematics, you become above average. And anything that actually makes you spin, so throwing a ball from hand to hand, but watching the ball. There's wobbling on a wobble board and closing your eyes, but they're all things that make you giggle. And, we don't laugh enough generally in life. And I think it's so important to laugh and to love because it's infectious. Consciousness is contagious. It truly is. And when I skip down along the beach, I can see people smiling, and it's so lovely to be able to bring a smile to anybody's face. It's something that I do love. Vicky, I don't know how long I've been, but I totally forgot to press my start button on my counter. But I suppose on the alkalizing side of things, it's so lovely to be able to alkalize your body, and there's so many ways in which we can do it, and we can do it through mind, meditation, or prayer. You can do it through your body, just by breathing, and Wim Hof has some amazing ways in which to do that. Sound and vibration, so we can change the structure of our water. Water has memory, just as all our cells do as well. Breathing, water, and food as well. So the raw food, the beautiful water that we can drink, it's all incredibly good for us. But I think inspiration, joy, hope, and transformation, absolutely lovely. Thank you so much, everybody.